Welcome to IELTS Wordcraft. Today, we're going to practice 20 new IELTS words and phrases. Let's get started.
Our very first word today is communicate. Basically, this means to share information, thoughts, or your feelings with someone else. Listen to how we use it in everyday life. You might say, it's important to communicate clearly with your coworkers, or good teachers know how to communicate difficult ideas simply. You could also say, I sometimes find it difficult to communicate with people who speak very quickly. A great little tip to remember here is that native speakers constantly use combinations like communicate with someone, communicate clearly, or communicate effectively.
Moving right along, let's look at the verb reach. In this context, it means to contact, connect with, or get a hold of someone. For instance, you could say, you can reach me by email, or the company wants to reach more customers. Another example would be, I couldn't reach my friend because his phone was off. The absolutely crucial point here is that to reach someone implies you successfully contacted them. You didn't just try, you actually got through.
Next up is socialize. This one is super common. It means to spend time with other people in a friendly, casual way. Think about situations like this. I enjoy socializing with my coworkers after work. Or, it's important for students to socialize and make friends. You might even say, I don't go out much, but I try to socialize on weekends. A quick grammar trick for you. We almost always say socialize with, followed by the people. So I socialize with my friends.
Now we have the fantastic adjective welcoming. If something or someone is welcoming, they're friendly, and they make people feel super comfortable. Listen to these examples. The staff were very welcoming. We received a welcoming response from the local community. Or, the cafe has a warm and welcoming atmosphere. Keep in mind, this word is incredibly versatile. You can use it to describe people, places, or even entire environments.
Word number 6 is coincidence. This describes a situation where two unexpected things happen at exactly the same time, or they're connected purely by chance. You might use it like this: what a coincidence, we live on the same street. Or, meeting her at the airport was a complete coincidence. You could also say, it was a strange coincidence that we chose the same restaurant. Here's a really natural conversational tip for you. If something totally unexpected happens, just smile and say, what a coincidence.
Next, let's look at without. It simply means not having or not doing something. Think about these everyday phrases. I can't work without coffee. I'm sure a lot of us can relate to that. Or, she left without saying goodbye. Here's another one. You can improve your English without living in an English-speaking country. Pay really close attention to the grammar here, guys. You use without plus a noun, like without money. Or you use without plus an ing verb, like without saying anything.
Let's move on to a really great phrase, at the same time. This means exactly what it sounds like, at one particular moment or while two things are happening together. Listen to how natural this sounds in context. I was studying and listening to a podcast at the same time. You can't do everything at the same time. Or, she was nervous and excited at the same time. This phrase is absolutely perfect when you're comparing two situations or actions that are happening simultaneously.
Next on our list is by myself. This means alone or without any help from another person. Here's how native speakers actually use it. I learned how to cook by myself. She traveled by herself for the first time. Or, I studied English by myself for several years. The big takeaway here is that saying by myself really emphasizes that you did something entirely alone, completely without anyone else's help.
Phrase number 10 is a great one, easy to talk to. We use this to describe someone who is friendly and just naturally comfortable to have a conversation with. For instance, my new coworker is very easy to talk to. She's friendly and easy to talk to. Or, our English teacher is easy to talk to, so students aren't afraid to ask questions. This is just a wonderful positive phrase to pull out when you're describing someone's personality.
Now for an absolute classic greeting. How have you been? This essentially means, how have you been recently? Is everything going well? You're going to hear people say things like, it's been a long time. How have you been? Hey Maya, how have you been? And you might reply, how have you been? Pretty good, thanks. The golden rule here is to use this specifically when you haven't seen someone for a while. It really shows you care about what they've been up to since the last time you chatted. Right after that, we have, how long have you been? We use this to ask how long someone has been doing a specific activity. Examples include, how long have you been living here? How long have you been studying English? Or, how long have you been working at this company? Notice the really common structure we're using here. It's, how long have you been, followed directly by a verb ending in ing.
How so? This is just a quick way of asking, can you explain why or how?
Listen to these short, everyday conversational exchanges. This job is more stressful. How so? The city has changed a lot. How so? Or, learning English has changed my life. How so? It's a wonderfully short, incredibly natural way to ask someone to elaborate on what they just said.
Next up is, I think the same way. This means I have the exact same opinion or way of thinking as you do. For example, you could say, people need more free time. I think the same way. My friend thinks exercise is important, and I think the same way. Or, learning through stories is useful. I think the same way. This is just a supernatural, very polite phrase to drop into a conversation when you completely agree with someone's opinion.
Phrase 15 is a fun one. Just kidding. It means I was joking. I wasn't being serious. Picture these playful scenarios. I'm quitting my job tomorrow. Just kidding. Barnaby says he can speak 10 languages. Just kidding. Or, I ate your lunch. Just kidding. A good rule of thumb for this one is that it almost always comes immediately after you make a joke or say something playfully outrageous.
Moving right along to on the same page. This means to have the same understanding, opinion, or plan as someone else. For example, let's make sure we're on the same page before we start. The whole team needs to be on the same page. Or, my manager and I are on the same page about the project. Definitely remember this one. It is a highly useful idiom, especially if you're using English in the workplace or in business settings.
Next is rather than, which simply means instead of. Listen to how it flows in these sentences. I prefer walking rather than taking the bus. I'd rather study at home rather than go to a cafe. Or, many people choose to work remotely rather than commute every day. The crucial point to remember is that rather than is an absolutely excellent phrase to use anytime you're comparing two distinct choices.
So far, so good. This means everything has been going well up to this point in time. Listen to how this sounds in a casual back-and-forth conversation. How's your new job? So far, so good. I've been studying for 3 months and so far, so good. How's a new apartment? So far, so good. This is so natural to use when someone asks you for a progress update on an ongoing project or a brand new situation. Coming up next, we have Tell Me a Little About. This is a great prompt to get someone to give you some information about something. For example, tell me a little about your hometown. Can you tell me a little about your job? Or tell me a little about your experience learning English. This is a fantastic phrase for keeping a conversation flowing naturally, and honestly, it's especially valuable in situations like speaking exams when you need to keep talking.
Phrase number 20 is, there is a limit to. This means there's a point beyond which something cannot or really should not continue. You might use this to say, there is a limit to how much stress people can handle. There is a limit to how much information we can remember at once. Or, there is a limit to how much time I can spend on social media. It's a really great structure for expressing a balanced, mature opinion.
And that brings us to our final vocabulary phrase, have a good one. This is an incredibly common, casual way to say have a good day, evening, trip, weekend, you name it. Listen to these brief goodbyes. Thanks for your help. No problem, have a good one. See you tomorrow. Have a good one. Or, thanks for meeting me. Have a good one. The trick here is that the word one just takes the place of whatever time period you're currently in, usually meaning the rest of the day.
Now, let's see these words and phrases in action through a short story.
Barnaby, Maya, and Leo went to a small networking event in a cozy cafe. The atmosphere was very welcoming, and Barnaby immediately started trying to socialize with everyone. A friendly woman smiled at him. "Hi, how have you been?" Barnaby froze. "Wait, have we met before?" She laughed. "No, I don't think so." "Oh, good," Barnaby said. "For a second I thought I had forgotten you." Maya shook her head. "Barnaby, you forget your own passwords." Barnaby ignored her and started to communicate with the woman. She was very easy to talk to, so the conversation quickly became comfortable. She mentioned that she had recently started a podcast about travel. "Tell me a little about it," Barnaby said. She explained that she wanted to reach people who enjoyed traveling alone. "That's interesting," Maya said. "I think the same way. Traveling by myself can be a great experience." Leo suddenly joined the conversation. "I travel alone all the time." Maya looked at him. "You once got lost in your own neighborhood." Leo smiled. "Just kidding. I only got lost twice." The woman laughed. Then she asked Barnaby why he had come to the event.
I'm here to meet people and learn new things, he said. I want to improve my communication skills rather than just talking to people I already know. That makes sense, she replied. Leo pointed at 2 people talking nearby. They seemed to be on the same page. Barnaby nodded. How so?
They're both looking at the same menu, Maya sighed. That's not what on the same page means. Later, Barnaby and the woman discovered they had both studied in the same city. What a coincidence! Absolutely, she said. After a few hours, Barnaby realized networking wasn't as scary as he had expected. See, Maya said, you can meet new people without being nervous. Barnaby smiled. So far, so good. Leo raised his coffee. Have a good one, everyone. Barnaby laughed. Now that's networking.
Now let's test your knowledge with a quick quiz using these words and phrases. Question 1. My new coworker is very blank, so I feel comfortable asking her questions. Is it A, welcoming, B, scary, C, individual, or D, corporate? Question 2. We haven't seen each other for years. Blank. A, how so? B, how have you been? C, what else? Or D, have a good one. Question 3. I prefer studying in the library, blank, studying in a noisy cafe. A, without, B, at the same time, C, rather than, or D, by myself. Question 4. We both studied at the same university. What A, blank? A, structure, B, reach, C, limit, or D, coincidence? And question 5. I'm enjoying my new job so far. That's good. Blank. A, how so? B, so far so good. C, how long have you been? Or D, tell me a little about. Take a moment to lock in your answers.
You can find the answers in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe.